Hey guys, what's going on? It's Reckless TCG here. Back from a very long break. Really good to be back and re-uploading. I've been on a bit of a journey in the last 6 to 8 months, actually traveling. Currently in Australia, in Melbourne, where I've moved to. And I just played 3 big events for the OP15 format in Sydney, Brisbane and Perth. And I managed to get 2 top 32s with red, blue, ace. So I'm really excited and happy that I finally managed to get some decent results. Ace is a deck that I always wanted to play from the moment it got leaked. Always been a big Whitebeard Pirate fan, loved Marco, played red Whitebeard back in the day. And yeah, it was really fun, had some great times traveling. I've got my good friend Leon on the camera today, so say hi Leon. And yeah, I guess we'll just kind of get into a little bit about the tournament runs and my experience. I know the deck profiles are not super interesting, particularly for Ace where it's quite linear, but firstly I'll show you the loot because that's probably the most exciting. So we started off in Brisbane. We didn't do too well, so day 1 we were X1 going into round 7, so we were 5-1 at the time, and we lost to a Nami that kind of high rolled and then bombed the last round, so unfortunately we went home empty-handed. And the day 2 Treasure Cup we played 4 of our friends, all killed each other, which is pretty disappointing. We then went to Sydney, finished X2, finishing 20th in the main event. So yeah, bubbled out of top 16 sadly, but still really happy with the top 32. I was chasing 64 to be honest, so yeah, managed to surpass my own expectations. And then Perth, so Perth I got a bit unlucky in the main event again. I think 5-4 I finished. I went for the Pinel Gauntlet in these 3 regionals, which people say is like a bad matchup for Pinel, or a lot of the good Pinel players have said don't like seeing Ace, but that shit is not a good matchup, man. You just have to really high roll. So yeah, actually my 4 losses across the 2 regionals that are top 32 were all Pinels. So yeah, the day 2 of Perth, I got top 32 in the Treasure Cup, finishing 19th. So I'll show you the loot that I got. So from Sydney, we got our finalist pack, which is nothing too special, but it is nice. Yeah. And then the main grail is the boa, which is really sought after at the moment. I think I'm going to keep hold of these. These are my first real prize cards, so yeah, I'm really happy to have them and just want to hold on to them. And then in the Treasure Cup we got the top 32 Don, which again, not super crazy, but it's pretty nice, it's quite unique. And then the Nami. Sadly neither of these are playable in the decks that I play, but hey ho, what can you do, eh? So yeah, I'll kind of just go through the list. It's pretty straightforward. Talk a little bit about the matchups and everything really.
Alright. So it's been like 2 formats since Ace was a good deck. Or was it tier 1 deck, I guess. Well, why are you still playing it?
So the main reason I decided to stay on Ace, I did try Lucy for a little while at the start of 15, and I wasn't a big fan of the early builds, particularly because it just plays 8 characters initially with the 4 Cavendish, 4 Sabo, yeah. And it's just never really been my kind of style, just playing multiple events. So I played it for a little bit, and I figured that the Pinel matchup was still really bad, and you had a good matchup into Nami. Kind of the same for Ace, but I feel like the Pinel matchup as Ace was a little bit more favourable.
Okay.
But overall, I picked Ace because it's very good into jungle, it's very good into generic. Yeah. I don't think it's the best deck in this format, but I do think it's the most consistent. Yeah. And I wanted to lose to my deck as little as possible.
Yeah. So like the consistency is a big part.
100%. Yeah. I hate bricking, I hate feeling like there was nothing I could do differently. I like having playing decks to have agency, so that's why I chose Ace. And to be honest, he's just still really strong. He's probably reflecting on the end of the format now. I'd say he's probably the top of tier 1.5, maybe just tier 2. Yeah. But he was a lot of the room. He just unfortunately he gets killed in the later rounds by the really good Anels, and Lucy is a pretty miserable matchup as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, like speaking of matchups, and like you said before, you lost 4 of your, like you went X2 and you lost 4 Pinels.
I did.
Like how jungle was it for you? Like how many Pinels did you beat? Versus obviously you lost to those 4.
So in Sydney I played 4 Namis, 4 Pinels, and 1 UP Sanji, which was a jungle round 2. Yeah. I beat all the Namis. I won 2 Pinels and lost 2 Pinels. Yeah. And then in Perth, the top 32 in the Treasure Cup, I played, it was 4 Pinels, and then a bit of a jungle. I played a Sky Luffy, a UI. I played a Teach, and 1 Mirror and a Yellow Enel.
Yeah.
So luckily I managed to beat all of the rogue stuff there, again only losing to Pinels.
Yeah.
I think 3 of the 4 losses I didn't have dice, and I'd say my opponent rolled very well.
Okay.
I think across 12 or 13 games into Pinel, I think I won 6 or 7 and lost 6, so I couldn't really get it further than a 50-50.
50-50, and you're winning the dice, like taking first for them, right?
Yeah, 100%. So like the strat really is just to kind of keep the game going as long as you can. Like you want to start off with Garps.
Yeah.
You need to see Boa. Like the games where I died, I really didn't see my Boas on curve, and that really killed me. I actually moved this up to 4, a little bit of a spoiler, for the last day, because it was just so crucial for the matchup. But yeah, overall I think Pinel, I think it's like a 60-40 to Pinel if they have the dice. If you have the dice, I think it's like a 55-45, but their best will always beat your best. You just kind of have to survive as long as you can. The longer the game goes on, the more favourable it is for you. So it's just one of those ones really. Every deck in this format had not an auto loss, but a really bad matchup.
Yeah.
So you just kind of got to pick your poison, and yeah, I decided to pick Mr. Donut.
Awesome. Let's go into the deck. I want to see like what changes have been made for the last 2 formats.
Sure. So really straightforward. There's nothing really super innovative here. The deck largely remained the same, but I'll talk for a couple of differences and any changes I made. These were all the same across all 3 events. 4 Ezo, 4 Gar. You'd play 8 if you could. Like you need this card into Pinel. And honestly, like this is arguably a better searcher than Ezo now, because your Whitebeard count started depleting, and the necessity for finding things that can search just became so crucial. Like you have to see Boas, you need to see Yamatos, Zoros in certain matchups. Like you search for Zoros with this, and you play that against yellow decks, and they cry. You know, like you mono yellow decks, Zoro is just so crucial for it. So Garp was really essential. And then you play the 4 Otama. You just play the 12 1-drops, barring the Thatch. But I mean, Thatch isn't a bounce target really. You're never playing that out. But you just need to see searchers. I think going into the next set, if we carry on playing this, you can potentially cut the Ezo for the stage, because you're now playing things like the Mr. 3 and some other things that aren't searchable by this. So this is probably okay to cut going into next set for the deck, but we shall see. We'll see. Probably my least favourite card in the deck was 2 Atmos. I wanted to cut this down to 1 for so long, but honestly the reason you just can't do it is because it is still a searchable Whitebeard that's a 1k. If you're going to cut this to 1, you have to replace it with something that has counter, right? And there's just not really many viable options. So you already play 4 Jozu, you play 4 of everything that's got a 1k really. And the matchups where this comes up is pretty important. Like if you play into a Pinel and they play Dog on 3 and you have this to bounce it back, it's really good for you. So unfortunately you need this also for the mirror to bounce Marcos and stuff, but definitely your least impactful card. Like it doesn't proc your leader effects, it swings, it just dies. You can't protect it because it's a low value character, but I think 2 was correct. Obviously 4 Marco, don't need to say much about this. 4 Yamato, 4 Jozu, this has been staple from the start. I did during Nats and early like 14 into 15 format, I played around with this at 3 because when Mihawk was in the meta, this was a little bit less important. But it's really important now. Like you play it against the Nels, you force them to respond to it, right? They have the Keaton Mamarag in it, freeze it or whatever. If you leave it on board for long enough, you get to a point where you can restand it, play a 10 cost and then you can start swinging with it, or play a second Marco. Like people hate seeing double Marco, bro. Like double Marco is the bane of a lot of decks' lives.
And if they don't stun it, you just like block and draw through, right?
Exactly. I think I was making the mistake of free blocking and free swinging with this early and getting dragon punished, which is is fair enough, is part of learning the matchups. But I think it's definitely at the moment a 4 of, and probably going into the next set. I mean, draw 3 is so strong, right? Draw 2 is not quite as strong, but still good. Yamato, like 1k. Honestly, this seeing this on 5 into so many matchups is just so important. You got to understand with the deck, you are just drawing cards and outvaluing your opponent, and these cards really help you to do that. Jozu, I would say, honestly, probably the format I played this deck where it felt the least impactful, but it's still such a strong card. Like I think it's the best 6-drop in the game. It's like probably pound for pound one of the best on-curve characters in the game. Like play it out, respond to anything your opponent plays. But it's not great into Enel. It's also not great into Lucy, and Nami has spots, but sometimes if you're going first, you just want to slam a Zoro anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that this is, unfortunately, again, not the best format for Jozu, but again, it's 1K, it's searchable, like you're going to play it. So this was the main MVP of the tournaments, really. Yeah, the boa. So the only real change, I'll just spoil it out a little bit. I played 4 Zoro and 3 boa.
Yeah.
Because I think this is only really super good into Enel. This is quite flexible in most matchups.
Yeah.
But after bombing out of the main event due to dying to Pinel's in Perth last weekend, on the evening going into the Treasure Cup, I said, sod it, I'm switching over to 4 and 3.
Yeah.
And my 2 losses to Pinel, I missed this on curve.
Yeah, it's so important, right? You stop like a 10k swing, you bottom one of their 1-drops, like they're just so behind on value.
Exactly, yeah. And I think honestly the strat for Enel is this is often better to chain than playing a 10.
Yeah.
Going second, I would like to play this into Tax Beard, but I think actually there's an argument where you play this and then they either have to remove this or develop another 6 cost.
Yeah.
Either way, you can play another one, then you can Tax Beard when their field's wider.
Yeah.
And then if they spend their whole turn removing the Tax Beard, that's when you can play your blocker beard and sit behind your big guys, right? Which is part of the fun.
Yeah.
But Zoro, honestly, like this at 4 was really useful for Sydney.
For the jungler, right?
Yeah, it's your best play on 7. It makes the odd curve really strong. It just farms matchups that go wide, like Sky Luffy. Really good into Nami going first. You can just chain this into 10 costs, and then you always have a viable swing.
Yeah.
Because you're swinging 2k above their leader, which is really good. So I think there's an argument. You could play 4 and 3. It's really just what you expect to see more of. And then just played a couple of flex 2ks, 1 Thatch and 1 Ace. A lot of people played the King Ju. I didn't. I didn't have it.
Yeah.
But honestly, this is double searchable. It's a more real body.
Yeah.
I played this out a total of 0 times across 6 regionals, 6 events. So
It's just searchable 2k.
it's just 2k, bro. This is kind of necessary for the mirror. This actually won me a game. My hardest game into Nami in Sydney. I was losing pretty much the whole game. We're 10 cost chaining, and I decided to just park out a Roger and basically force my opponent to go for it. He missed the lethal. I play Thatch and just kill him.
Yeah.
So this sets up for lethals and plays with Roger. You kind of need it for the mirror. So I was playing 2, but because it's only searchable by one of your searchers, it's not ideal. So yeah, I think 1 is correct. And then I did switch from 3 to 4 of Utas.
Okay.
So initially I saw List playing only 2 of these because it's just Mama Ragan food, right?
Yeah.
Which you think at first is correct, but actually with this, they can Mama Ragan it, but then if you stick this with like a 10 cost or say a Marco, you can also play this with Zoro, which is really strong. Yeah, they can waste the Mama Ragan on it, but like often that's better than spending the 2k. Like if they're swinging 10k and you're forcing them to remove it, then that's kind of fine, right? You can double play this. One game I actually I triple played this in 1 turn and just said to my opponent go, and they ate 2 10k swings and an 8k, so you know they were value. But yeah, just a very strong card.
I mean, you're already asking for like 4 Mamaragans for your like the Marco eats a Mamaragan, this eats a Mamaragan. They only have 4 in the deck, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like there was at least 2 games I won by double playing this in the late game into an L, and also if they don't clear it, like you attach 2-3 Don, you swing 7 next turn with it. It's a viable swing to go for lethal with. So I think this was correct. It's just you do. I did whiff my EZO once or twice across these weeks because of that. But it's you have to pick your poison. I think that having a 2k that's flex, and it's one of the best 2ks in the game, like relatively speaking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this was correct.
Yeah.
And then we play 4 Newgate because that's the deck.
It's pretty good.
We decided to play 2 Tax Beard.
Okay.
Never been a massive fan of this card, to be honest, but if there was ever a time for him to shine, it was this format. So many good spots, mainly for Enel and Lucy, which thankfully we managed to dodge in our runs where we got some loot.
Yeah.
The runs where we didn't dodge it, we did die, unfortunately. We managed to beat 1 in 4, and it's so tough, that matchup.
Yeah.
But even against Nami, it has spots, like you can play this instead of the block beard, and and then every turn you can swing 12, right? There were some spots where I played this out before the 10 cost, this one, and then they would play out their 10 cost, and then I would play this, attach the Don here, and then if they ever free block their Newgate, I can jam 14 into it. So it's like, it has some really good spots, but honestly it was mainly for a nil. I'd say the games where I played it against the nil were just so much more winnable. I think I lost one game where I played it out on curve, the others I pretty much won. It was really that impactful. And also, again, it's searchable. It's another 10 cost to play. To play the 2 tax bid, you do have to cut 1 Roger, I think. I don't think you can afford to play 2. To be honest, this card didn't come up that much. Most people play around it anyway. You could argue the promo Shanks is better in some matchups, particularly Nami and Lucy. But if you're a red deck and you go tall, then you have to play one of these at least.
Just in case.
Yeah, exactly. And then just a 4 spell. So
Oh, no way.
Honestly, it's not particularly, it's not particularly diverse or super interesting. But I did play a one of 2K that no one's playing, so I guess you can say that I was playing a spicy list.
New tech.
But honestly, I'm really happy that I chose the deck. There was a lot of people saying there was kind of cope. One of my best friends from London, shout out Kay, he's a big Whitebeard enthusiast. He was on this deck terrorizing locals. He moved to Lucy, so fake Whitebeard stand, but we proved it was still viable. I think you just got to believe in your cope and try and do what you can. But it was really fun. I'm glad to have got some success finally in the game. I've been playing for over 2 years now, and just constant X-frees and bubbles, and but we finally got there.
Hey, good time to be successful, man.
For sure, man. But just wanted to say thank you guys for watching the video. I will hopefully be re-uploading. Had a long break, but now I'm ready to get back into it. Want to give a shout out to the Melbourne scene. Everyone here has just completely taken me in as a local and been so great. Like, the scene is really good, it's really competitive, the food is amazing, the recommendations have been really good. Being from the UK, I know about good food, right? So we've got a little bit of a break now. We might have another regional coming up, but aside from that, it will be Auckland, which is, I'm pretty sure it's your hometown, Leon, right?
It is my hometown, end of August.
End of August, so not sure if we'll play this. Maybe we'll cope it for a Treasure Cup for a Sunday, we'll see. But we'll have to test it and see what the new structure decks bring out, and see how the meta shapes up. But
Cool.
signing out, Rex TCG. Thanks, guys.